Hi guys. Today's video we'll be discussing about document types. In my previous video, I discussed about field status variants, and so far we have covered few topics. Just a recap: creation of company, company code, fiscal year variant, posting period variant, and field status variant. So the next topic is the document types. What are document types basically? Let's break down this word into two, as it is document and types. What is basically a document? Document is a paper or blank paper on which something is written, correct? When I open an MS Word, it says an untitled document because it is a paper to note down something. Similarly, talking about a business, a trading firm or a manufacturing firm, manufacturing company, an organization, what documents do you think they may have? Correct? A few legal documents and transactional documents, correct? So here we are talking about transaction documents. What are the activities or day-to-day activities in a business? Basically, purchasing, sales, and so on, correct? Talking about a manufacturing concern. Purchasing, sales, a few expenditure invoices, correct? A few claims. These are the activities in a these are very basic activities in a business. Purchasing the raw materials, selling the finished product, expenditure, for example, such as salaries, rent, upon invoices, then claims, and so on. Now, did you ever find that the set of books of accounts are separate? For example, purchases are recorded in book 1, sales are recorded in book 2, expenditure in book 3, and so on. I have a separate sales book, I have separate purchases book and expenditures book. Why do I need to have separately? Why can't I include all the transactions into one book? You can, but it is better you show them separately. This is for your reporting purposes and transparency as well. So the type of transactions you need to differentiate. Understood? So similarly in SAP, we will be using document types to differentiate my type of transactions. For purchasing, I would have separate. Sales, I would have separate. For expenditure, I would have separate. How can I divide basic? Let's get into more organizational activities. For example, apart from purchasing, sales, expenditures, there can be many more. Just look for some examples. Vendor invoice booking. Okay, vendor invoicing. Next, vendor pays me. Sorry, I pay to my vendor. Vendor payment. Next, customer invoicing. Customer pays me. Incoming payment, I would write that way. All right. What next? Here I can also mention D, K, A. Now you need to guess what this K, D, and A are. However, I shall tell you what these are once I complete my scenario listing, but try to guess. We have already discussed this in posting period variant in our previous videos. I'm continuing with my scenario listing. Acquisition, depreciation postings, S, say journal vouchers. That's it. Ring any bells? Okay. Though you might have guessed, let me tell you what these are. These are my account types, if you remember. A, D, K, M, S, remember? A for assets, D for customers, K for vendor, M for material, and S for GL. M is not mentioned here, leave. So this is basically K, D, A, and S. Yeah? So what is a document type? This is if an interviewer asks you, what is a document type? How do you explain him? Look, there are different document types for each type of transaction for each account type. I must have used the words repeatedly, but there is a meaning. There are different document types for each transaction type. Oh, oh. Each account type, let me rectify, and its transactions. There you go. There are different document types for each account type and its transactions. Some of the document types are, let me give you basic hint, basic examples. SA, KR, KZ, DR, DZ, AF. That's it. These are some basic document types. SAP has provided several document types. Now, your question. If SAP has provided several document types, why should we create one? Or why did SAP provide? SAP has provided several, so answer to your question. SAP has provided several document types basing on what are the common transactions in a business. Now, there is also a note here. Please mind, new document types need not be created and existing document types should not be changed. Let me highlight this because this is a very, very important note. Even in your interviews, please make a note of it. This is very important. What does it say? New document types need not be created and existing document types should not be changed. SAP has provided document types, so you may not create them. There are several document types. However, if your business seeks that you need certain document types, you can always create them. Understand with the first point? New document types need not be created. I'm not forcing you not to create. What I'm saying is need not be created. Though there's a scope to create, that's a pretty simple process. And very important here is existing document types should not be changed. Please. The document types are at system level, not at company code level. This is not a fiscal year variant or your posting period variant which is assigned to a company code. Understood? These document types are common for all the company codes. You change a document type and it impacts all the company codes using it. Understood? So do not change an existing document type, though you can change it. Come back. You must be eager to know what this SA, KR, KZ, DR, DZ, AF stands for. Now, SA stands for Journal Vouchers Accounting Document. Basically, an accounting document, a journal voucher such as expenditure and all. Guess what KR could be? KR is your vendor invoice. And KZ stands for vendor payment. DR stands for customer invoice and DZ stands for customer incoming payment. AF stands for depreciation postings. That's it. Oops. Yep. Depreciation postings. And how about asset acquisitions? Well, assets are acquired from a vendor, so the document type used at the time of acquisitions are KR, the same as vendor invoice. Okay, all sorted out. Again, these are very basic business transactions which are listed. Let's go to SAP and check what are the existing documents there. Again, SPRO, document, document types, and document types for entry view. Now, for the T code, you need to click here. It's OBA7. This is the basic activity which I have been taking up in all my videos to show a T code or to populate a T code against this transaction. It's OBA7. How about these two remaining? These are also document types, but not at the moment. I shall take this up at the time of parallel ledgers topic, which is an advanced topic, of course. Since we are at a very beginner level, let's not discuss about this. Let's go to this. Let's go inside execute. Here, there are approximately 60. 60 are not standard or set by SAP. I see that there are a few created by some users, such as this, and so on. So we are using the existing document types. I'm not going to create any new document type. So let's start with SA. Where is SA? Here, should be here, or you can go with this position. I found SA. Double click on SA. You'll find a few settings here. This is what I said. Do not change a configuration in a document type because this is at a system level, basically at client level. We shall discuss what client is. For now, use the word system level. The first thing here is the number range. This is again a very important interview question, the number range. For now, just remember that 01 stands for SA. I shall take this up once you are expert in postings. Now, do as I said, go inside essay, which we are already inside. Click on number range information. System will take you to another T code, that is FBN1. So my company code is 9001 and click on intervals. Now you will see two buttons with intervals written on them, but there is a difference in the icon. Intervals with spectacle icon shows that this is only for display mode. You can only display intervals, you cannot create or change. Status is, I tell you what status is. Meanwhile, you need to go into intervals with this pencil icon which says change intervals. What is this interval thing? I'll tell you. Look, for example, okay, let me write the heading first. Number intervals. For example, I say that SA document type is to be numbered from 1 to 999. This is kind of, let me give you a thought. As I told you, you will have separate books for different transactions. Let's say that I have a book number 1 for expenses. It will have a limited set of pages. It has approximately 1000 pages, 1 to 999. Then comes my vendor invoicing, KR. This is a separate book, book 2. This has pages, consecutive pages from 1000 to 199. Alright. So when I book my first transaction of my expenditure, which page will I use? Of course, page number 1. Let me plot it down here. Here, this should be better. Transaction expense. As on today's date, 25th February, what number will the system use? Document number 1. Correct? On 25th Feb again, I use it for some other, for example, some other expenditure. What should the system use? Document number 2. Sequentially. Next, on 25th Feb, I use a vendor invoicing. So, what document number should it use? Try to guess. For vendor invoicing, which document type will system use? SA or KR? Correct. System would use KR for vendor invoicing. As I already told you, for vendor invoicing, it's KR. So, what should be the number? The first number in the interval, 1000. Now, on 26th Feb, when I book another expenditure, this would use again the document type SA. I did not mention previously, assuming that you knew. Okay, SA. What number should it take? Series is from 1 to 999. System has already used 1 and 2 documents. System would use 3. Understood? This is called document numbering. Very simple, right? So now let's head on and set the numbers for SA. For KR, KZ, as we progress through our course, through our curriculum, we shall be maintaining all of them one by one. Let's not maintain right away. Let's maintain as and when needed so that you will know when Where does this number range affect? This is for your own good. So our previous step was here. I click on intervals. Now go to insert interval on the top. This is kind of new entries button. Though this no new entries button, you have this insert interval button. Number range. Number range for SA was 01. If you wish, you can just uh, go back a few minutes ago in the video. You will check when I double clicked on SA document type, I showed that the number range was 01. So that's here. So 01 represents SA. Fiscal year 2017. I'm still in 2017. From number 12999. Okay, guys, you need to note something here. Number. Here, this number means number range. Let me tell you about each of these columns here in my Excel. Number range. Number range is basically this represents a document type. Okay, and one number range may represent multiple document types. Okay, the number ranges in the system, as you saw that SA is using 01, is common, is from standard SAP. So let's not change it, else it will impact all the company codes. So I insert 01 here because we planned to have this. SA should have 12999. So SA is using 01 number range. So I use 01 there. Next, about year. Nothing to tell about year, right? You already know that. But still, there is something more. These are all interview questions. Please be careful. Once you answer these questions, you are going to stun your interviewer. Year. What if I enter 2017 and the number range is 12999? This is what I used here. 2017, 12999. What does this signify? This signifies that from 1st April till March of next year, that is 2018, number ranges used would be 12999. From April 2018 till March of next year 2019, you will have to input another set of entry here 12999. That means these numbers get exhausted when the year ends. I hope you understood. This is kind of this is like I'm changing my books of accounts every year. I close the books, I open new books. It's the same thing. Okay, so what's the deal? What are other opportunities? This was one thing. Example, your business says that you don't want this way. You don't want 1 to 999 each year. Business asks you, it wants 1 to 999 for the rest of its business life. What does that mean? Let me compare option 1. Sorry. So this is my option 1 basically, and this is my option 2. Correct? Option 1, you have number ranges, sorry, you have number intervals resetting each year. 1 to 999 for the first year, then 1 to 999 for the next year. But business says to continue 1 to 999 for the rest of the years. For example, You consume 50 documents in year 1, and in year 2 the first document should be 51st document. This is the scenario 2 which business wants you to do. So what would I do here? Instead of maintaining year 2017, I would maintain year 9999. Understood? Let me show you here in the system. You can enter 9999 here. Then system would presume this 1 to 999 to be consecutive throughout the years instead of resetting it every year, resetting the counter to 1. Okay? System wouldn't reset the counter to first document number each year. This is what you need to explain to your interviewer. So currently I'm maintaining 2017 here. I hope you understood. And I left out another column here. What is a current number? Current number shows you the currently used number. For example, as we spoke here, I used a few transactions. For expense, I used 1, 2, and 3. So 3 documents were used. In my status, you will find 3. Once I start posting the documents, I shall show you. Once we are almost there for postings, I shall show you that the current number status changes. Okay, this is not manually editable at the moment, and do not change it, never change it. So what's a current number? Current number shows the recently posted document number. Why is this required? Is this for human beings? No. This is for the system to determine what should be the next posting or next consecutive document number. Understood? For example, if it's 3 here, system would check if the series is from 1 to 999 and the current number is 3, what should be the next number? The next number should be 4. This is how system calculates. Okay, now let's go to our next column here. This is a checkbox basically. EXT. What does an EXT mean? You're wrong. Not extension. It's basically external. Yes. What does this external mean? External means that the document number should not be decided by the system. Yes, the document number should not be decided by the system. Instead, the document number is input by the user. The document number is input by the user. This is the reason why this is called external. This is where system need not assign a document number internally. Instead, user need to input the number outside from the system. That's the reason why it's called external. User is an external party to the system, so number is coming from an outside system, so it's external. Now there is another important interview question here. Can user enter any number of his choice? Can user enter any number of his choice? No. There are two things to it. One, the number should be contained in the number intervals already decided. Should be contained in the number intervals already decided. What are the number intervals already decided? This. The current numbering is 12999. So user cannot put in 1002 because 1002 does not come, is not forming part of my number intervals. Yes, the user can input 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, 200, 300, does not matter. So that means user can skip the numbers and they may not be consecutive, not necessarily be consecutive. Understood? Good. Oh, sorry, some spelling mistake here. Sorry, typo in fact. Okay. Now, second, what was the second thing here? The number should not overlap with an existing document number. If I already posted a document saying, if I already posted a document number saying the document number is 25, the user cannot re-input 25. He cannot. So he need to input either any number other than 25, which is already existing. But my point, when does this apply? When this checkbox is selected, then the number ranges are external. Now, another thing here, when this external check mark is selected, the current number field does not work. Wonder why? Very simple. I just told you. Why is current number used? Current number is used by the system to assess what the next document number should be. But once the external is check marked, system has no business in assigning a number. Number will be coming from the user. So system did not maintain what the current number was. I hope you understand. Now let's get back and save this. I've saved this, just an information. Click continue. There you have. You have now completed this document number maintenance. So the next thing, reverse document type, AB. Look, why do I need to reverse a document? Number one, when the document was not supposed to be posted. Number two, document was posted but on the wrong date. Number three, wrong amounts were posted, and so on. There may be many clerical or mistakes at the user level. So you need to reverse the document. When you try to reverse the document in SAP, you cannot choose a document type there. So system is by default assigning here that when you try to reverse a document of SA type, that is expenditure or any JV, system would automatically assign AB document type to its reversal document. Give some time. When we reach the reversal documents, I shall tell you how it's done. This was just a basic info I provided you. Authorization group, this is again something which we have already discussed in my open and close posting field variant, the last field authorization group, where specific users are only authorized to use this document type. Next, account types allowed. Since it's SA document type, GL account document, this should have matchings. This should have corresponding account types all check marked. Next, these are a few more things, and very important thing I need to discuss with you here is this at the bottom: required during document entry. Required during document entry. Now, do you remember our last topic, field status variance? If not, just have a quick look and come back here. Now, field status variance basically control my fields at the time of posting at line item level. Let me take you to the screen. O FB50. This would be a recap to you. 9001 there. Here, as I already told you, that field status variance control fields at line item level. What is the line item? The second part of the screen, the bottom second part of the screen is line item level. And I already told you that line items are controlled by field status variance, but who does control the header? Headers are controlled by document types. Now this is the time when I tell you which fields can be controlled by the document types. Reference number and document header text. However, as I already told you in field status variance that there are few things, mandatory, optional and suppressed things, which you don't find here. Reference, document header text. Once you check mark this, that means that the reference number is mandatory. What's the reference number here? This. It sets mandatory. And document header text, it sets mandatory. Once it is removed, this becomes optional. Understood? Once it is check marked, it becomes mandatory. This is also a very important interview question, that what controls the fields of a header of a document? So your answer should be document types. Next, the question which follows from the interview should be, what fields does the document type control? So the answer is reference number and document header text. All right. So I have made no changes in this, as I already warned you or suggested you not to change anything in the document types. Now let's try another document type, KR. Let's see what's there in. When I go inside, you see the number range is 19, not 01. 01 was for SA. 19 is something which I did not mention, something which is standard from SAP. Look here, the account types, customer is not checked because there is no scenario where vendor and customer be in the same document. Okay, vendor may be with an asset, vendor may be with vendor, vendor may be material, and vendor may be with GL, and so on. You can continue to browse through all the document types. I'm not taking you through all of them. Now, I guess I missed something in field status variance. For them who are very curious to know, let me tell you what I miss. Taking you to OBC4 field status variance, I created 9001, select and go inside field status groups and double click on any of the group, doesn't matter. Let me click on G001. Under general data, you will find these three things. Text may be, as I told you that there are three things: suppressed, required, and optional. Let me take you to the explanation. Page up, page up, page up. No. Let me check where it was. Here. Here. As I told you that there are three attributes: mandatory, optional, and suppressed. This is the Excel sheet which I used when I took up the video training for field status variant. I'm taking up the same. Mandatory, optional, and suppressed. The same things are here. Required is nothing but mandatory, optional, and suppressed for hidden. If I wish to have text field or any of the fields optional, I would choose this. If I wish to have required entry, I would choose this. If you wish to hide the text field from postings, you can use this. Again, if you want to have text as mandatory, use this required. This was something which I missed in my previous video. I just recollect that. All right. So I would try not to skip such things anytime in the future. But if I do, I can always just go back and tell you the same thing in the future videos. So we have covered the document types and number ranges for now. That's it in this video. I shall take up the next topic, such as chart of accounts, retained earnings, in my next video.